Welcome, and thank you for exploring yet another avenue on the path of the seeker with me. With New Year's quickly approaching, I wanted to share with you a message of hope. Is peace on Earth possible? I meditated on this subject recently because I saw a National Geographic clip asking this question. My own knee-jerk reaction was that no, peace is not possible on Earth. But then I took a moment and realized this was an old, conditioned response I formulated during my teenage years. Clearly, this thinking was out of alignment with my core essence. What in me was not at peace that I would think peace is not possible for the entire planet? Here's what I discovered when I meditated on the subject. You can find a link to the full blog that I wrote while meditating on this in the description box below. First, yes, I absolutely believe that peace on Earth is not only possible, but it will be achieved in my lifetime. I know that's a big statement, and a great many people might consider such a reaction to be naive. Are atomic weapons simply going to disappear? How about all the tools of warfare? How about war itself, where we've been involved in multiple countries for over a decade? How about these suicide attacks that seem to happen randomly? Big, important intellectuals have tried to create a more perfect, peaceful society, and failed time and time again. We still have war, we still have the poor living in specific areas, and the homeless wandering the streets. There are a lot of reasons why there isn't peace now. Mostly it's fear and a lack of personal development on the part of the individuals. Maintaining the old status quo as the rest of the world changes is no longer working, however, and so that needs to be let go. Why do I think peace on Earth is possible? Because I have found a deep, abiding state of peace within myself. Certain major events recently have caught me off guard and careened me back into the reactive state that I once lived in, but I was able to catch my thinking and return to the state of peace. If I can obtain internal peace after years of deep depression, I can't help but believe that anyone can. That gives me a great deal of hope. How can it happen? As I said, many great men have tried to force this onto humanity with a formula. Socialists believe that by making everyone equal, they would create the perfect, peaceful society, but that didn't work. You see, it's not something that's going to be done to us, but something we do for ourselves. This is something humanity will morph into, with each willing participant being an integral part. The spiritual awakening, as so many people call it, that is happening to thousands of people is the big factor. Just enough people have to reach the state of unity consciousness, also known as Christ, Krishna, or God consciousness. Some people might call it self-realization or self-actualization. But once enough people reach this point, peace will spontaneously occur. This is similar to the 100th monkey phenomenon. Essentially, one monkey learned how to wash their potato on an isolated island. Then that monkey went and taught several in her little family. When enough monkeys on the island learned the trick, a bunch of monkeys on another island spontaneously started to do it, as though it had entered their group consciousness and everyone had access to it suddenly. One of the guys at Edgar Cayce, Arizona ARE, John Schroeder, puts it another way. For a long time, people thought that the 4-minute mile couldn't be broken. Then Roger Bannister broke it, and poof, a bunch of other athletes did as well. Now, the 4-minute mile seems to be common. That's what we are talking about here. This is what is possible. Instead of one mystic leading all of humanity, humanity itself will become a group of mystics. And by every person who reaches that state of being through self-transformation, we lift up the entire human species. If I had not awakened myself to God consciousness in this world, I would say no, peace on Earth is not possible. People hardly ever seem to achieve peace within themselves, so it is unlikely they will seek peace in the outer world. Since I've obtained peace, I know I won't be the only one, and that it's not as hard as people make it appear. This knowledge is not for an elite group of masters, but easily accessible to the common man. Anyone, anywhere, can reach this state of being if they just search for their answers inside of themselves. The personal answers to peace and the answer to global peace do not lie outside the individual. They are within. If just enough people awaken within the dream and remember who they are, the barrier will be broken. Others will naturally be swept along in the tide of change. Then everyone will achieve this state of being, and peace within themselves and peace in the outer world will manifest as a natural result. We don't have to depend on others or change them. Our government cannot do this for us. There is no outer authority to which to turn for the development, no social cause to create, or organization that's capable of making this happen. This starts with you, as an individual, making a personal choice. When enough of us attain this state of being, it will just come to others as an apparent knowing or epiphany that no one has to teach them. They will just suddenly know it one day because it will just be a part of who they are. Then we will enter the golden age of Aquarius, where the Spirit of God abides within us consciously, without an outer manifestation being needed. That would be the second coming, according to some. We've had access to the inner temple for a long time, but people are still trying to force it through the outer world. Is peace on earth possible? Yes, absolutely. Is it going to happen in my lifetime? I have to say yes, absolutely, because it's already happened in my own individual subjective reality. To me, that's the ultimate of miracles, as I am no one special. As I noted before, I seem to be at the forefront of the spiritual wave. I would never imagine having a conversation at work about the Anunnaki. I never imagined having a YouTube channel or a blog where I would discuss these subjects publicly. More people than ever are taking the first steps to self-realization and unity consciousness than ever before, and it's like a domino effect where the whole wave of people are venturing onto the path. What an awesome time to be alive and to know hope so undoubtingly when everyone else is mired in doom and gloom.